Welcome to the sacred water gardens of the ancient masters. Hello and welcome to tonight's peaceful journey. I'm your guide, and I'm honored to accompany you through these tranquil moments ahead. Please find your most comfortable position, perhaps lying in bed or sitting with your back supported. Gently allow your eyes to close, if it feels right, or find a soft focal point ahead of you. Now, bring your attention to your breath. We'll begin with 3 conscious, deep breaths together. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in peace, love, and positive energy. As you exhale, release any tension and negativity from the long day behind you. Tonight, you'll discover 8 sacred water gardens where ancient masters found profound enlightenment and deep peace. Each story will guide you into deeper, more restful sleep. Allow yourself to completely relax. You are safe, you are cared for, and you deserve to feel this wonderful sacred water gardens of ancient masters. Part 1. Welcome to the sacred water gardens of the ancient masters. Hello, and welcome to tonight's peaceful journey into the sacred water gardens where ancient masters found their deepest wisdom. I'm honored to be your guide as we explore these timeless sanctuaries of the spirit. Find your most comfortable position now. Perhaps you're lying in bed or sitting with your back gently supported. Allow your eyes to close softly like lotus petals folding at sunset. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. This time is yours. Let's begin with 3 conscious breaths together. As you breathe in slowly through your nose, imagine drawing in the pure mountain air from an ancient temple garden. Hold gently, and now exhale through your mouth, releasing the entire day behind you. Again, breathe in peace and tranquility. Hold and breathe out any tension or worry. One more time, drawing in this sacred space we're creating together and releasing completely into this moment. Tonight, you'll discover 8 sacred water gardens where enlightened masters found profound peace centuries ago. Each garden holds a story, and each story holds a key to deep restorative sleep. These aren't just tales. They're invitations to experience the same timeless wisdom that has guided seekers for generations. Feel your body beginning to settle now. Starting with your feet, allow them to become completely heavy and relaxed. Let this heaviness move up through your ankles, your calves, your knees. Your legs are becoming so wonderfully heavy, as if they're sinking into the softest moss beside a sacred spring. Imagine now that you're walking along a misty mountain path in ancient times. The stone steps beneath your feet are worn smooth by countless pilgrims who walked this way before you. The air carries the scent of pine trees and distant incense. Somewhere ahead, through the morning mist, you can hear the gentle sound of flowing water. As we approach our first sacred garden, allow your shoulders to drop away from your ears. Let your arms rest heavily at your sides, your hands completely open and relaxed. You're safe here. You're exactly where you need to be. The Lotus Master's first teaching. Through the parting mist, you discover a hidden garden surrounding an ancient temple. This is the garden of the Lotus Master, where still pools reflect the sky like mirrors of eternity. Lotus flowers bloom impossibly large and radiant, their petals glowing with inner light. Here, centuries ago, there lived a master known simply as the Lotus Teacher. Students would travel for months through dangerous mountain passes just to sit beside his sacred pools and receive his wisdom. One autumn morning, a young student named Chen arrived at the garden, his mind churning with anxiety and confusion. For years, he had studied scriptures, practiced meditation, attended teachings from dozens of masters. Yet, peace remained as elusive as moonlight on water. "Master," Chen said, bowing deeply beside the largest lotus pool, "my mind is like a storm. Thoughts crash over me like waves. I've tried everything, but I cannot find the stillness you speak of. How do I quiet this chaos?" The Lotus Master smiled gently and pointed to the pool before them. "Tell me, what do you see?" Chen looked into the murky water. Mud and debris swirled beneath the surface, stirred up by his own footsteps as he approached. "I see muddy water, Master, unclear and disturbed." "And what grows from this mud?" the Master asked. Chen's gaze lifted to the magnificent lotus flowers floating serenely on the surface, pristine white petals untouched by the darkness below. The Lotus Master. But how can something so pure emerge from such murky depths? "Gesakaj." The Lotus Master dipped his hand into the water and then held it perfectly still. Slowly, very slowly, the sediment began to settle. The water grew clearer with each passing moment. "Your mind, dear Chen, is like this sacred pool. The mud represents your thoughts, your worries, your endless mental chatter. When you struggle against them, when you fight to push them away, you only stir the water more. But watch." The Master's hand remained motionless. Within minutes, the water became crystal clear, revealing smooth stones on the bottom and small fish swimming peacefully. "The lotus teaches us the greatest secret," the Master continued, his voice soft as falling petals. "Purity doesn't come from fighting the mud, it comes from not disturbing it. Your thoughts will settle naturally when you stop stirring them with resistance." Chen stared into the now clear water, seeing his own reflection for the first time since arriving. "But Master, how do I not stir the water? How do I not engage with thoughts that seem so urgent, so demanding?" The Lotus Master reached into the pool and gently cupped a lotus flower in his palms. "See how this flower floats. It touches the water, but is not absorbed by it. It grows from the mud, but remains unstained. This is how you must hold your thoughts. Let them arise from the depths of your mind. Acknowledge them as natural, but don't let them pull you down into their stories." As you listen to this ancient teaching, feel it settling into your own consciousness. Notice any thoughts arising in your mind right now, perhaps about tomorrow's responsibilities, or sounds in your environment, or even judgments about this story itself. These thoughts are like the mud in the lotus pool, natural, inevitable, neither good nor bad. The Master continued, "When a thought appears, simply notice it as you would notice a leaf floating on water. You don't need to grab the leaf, you don't need to push it away. Just observe. There's a thought about work. There's a thought about what I should have said earlier. There's a worry about tomorrow. Let each one float by like lotus petals on the current." Chen spent that day sitting beside the pool, practicing this gentle awareness. At first, his mind continued its familiar patterns, grasping at some thoughts, pushing away others. But gradually, he began to understand. The thoughts didn't disappear, but his relationship with them transformed completely. "Master," he said, as evening approached, "I think I'm beginning to understand. When I stopped fighting my thoughts, they lost their power over me." The Lotus Master nodded. "And now you know why we call this the Garden of First Teaching. Every lotus flower that blooms here represents a student who discovered this truth. Peace isn't the absence of thoughts, it's the presence of awareness that remains undisturbed by them." As the sun set over the sacred garden, Chen realized he had found what he'd been seeking for years. Not through acquiring more knowledge or perfecting his meditation technique, but through the simple act of letting be. Allow this teaching to settle into your own awareness now. Feel your breath flowing naturally like gentle currents in a sacred pool. Any thoughts arising in your mind are simply lotus flowers on the surface, beautiful, natural, but unable to disturb the deeper stillness that you are. Let your entire body relax more deeply now. Your face is soft, your jaw unclenched. Your neck and shoulders are heavy and warm. This ancient wisdom is working within you just as it worked within Chen and countless students before him. The garden of the Lotus Master fades gently now, but its teaching remains. As we prepare to continue our journey to the next sacred sanctuary, carry with you this understanding. You don't need to fight your thoughts to find peace. You simply need to stop stirring the water. Your breath continues naturally, effortlessly. Your body grows heavier and more relaxed with each exhale. The first gate of wisdom has opened and deeper mysteries await us in the gardens ahead. The Persian Garden's 4 rivers. As the lotus garden fades into gentle memory, you find yourself walking along a stone pathway that glimmers in moonlight. The ancient wisdom of the Lotus Master still flows through your consciousness like clear water settling deeper with each breath. Your body continues to relax, becoming heavier and more peaceful with every step you take on this sacred journey. Feel your breath flowing naturally now like gentle streams finding their course. Allow your arms to rest completely heavy at your sides, your hands open and soft. There's nothing to hold on to here, nothing to grasp or control. Through an archway carved with intricate geometric patterns, you discover the second sacred sanctuary, the Garden of 4 Rivers, known to the ancients as Chahar Bagh, the divine blueprint of paradise itself. This is a Persian masterpiece where water flows in perfect mathematical harmony, creating streams that intersect at precise angles, dividing the garden into 4 sacred quarters. Here, centuries ago, lived a master gardener named Farid, whose understanding of life's flow drew seekers from across the known world. The garden he tended was said to be a mirror of celestial paradise, where 4 rivers flow beneath the gardens of heaven. On this particular evening, as jasmine perfumes the warm air and fountains sing their eternal songs, a young woman named Yasmin arrives at the garden gates. She carries the weight of modern struggles, demanding work that consumes her days, relationships that require constant attention, spiritual longings that seem impossible to fulfill, and family responsibilities that never cease. "Master Farid," she says, her voice trembling with exhaustion as she approaches the central fountain where 4 channels of crystal water intersect. "I feel like I'm drowning in the demands of life. How can I possibly balance everything? Work pulls me in one direction, my family needs me in another, my heart calls for spiritual practice. Yet I barely have time to breathe. I feel scattered like leaves in a storm." The master, his beard silver in the moonlight, gestures to the garden surrounding them. "Tell me, dear Yasmin, what do you see here, Bag?" She looks around at the geometric perfection before her 4 water channels flowing from the cardinal directions, meeting at a central octagonal pool where a fountain sends droplets dancing toward the stars. Each quarter of the garden contains different plantings, one with fruit trees, heavy with pomegranates and figs, another with roses and jasmine, a third with herbs for healing, and the 4th with tall cypresses reaching toward heaven. "I see a beautiful garden, Master, but I don't understand how this helps my chaos." Farid dips his hands into the central fountain and lets the water flow between his fingers. This garden follows the ancient design of Chahar Bagh, 4 rivers flowing in harmony. Each channel represents one essential aspect of human existence. Watch the water carefully. He points to the eastern channel. This stream represents your work in the world, your ability to create, to serve, to contribute your unique gifts to the cosmic tapestry. See how it flows steadily, neither rushing nor stagnant. As you listen to this teaching, feel your own relationship with work and purpose. Notice any tension you might carry about productivity or achievement and gently allow it to soften like water, finding its natural level. The Master's finger traces the southern channel. This river represents your relationships with family, friends, community, all the souls who share this earthly journey with you. Notice how it doesn't overflow its banks, yet it never runs dry. Allow any anxiety about your relationships to dissolve now, like sugar in warm tea. Feel your heart area softening, your chest becoming spacious and warm. The western channel, Farid continues, pointing to water that catches moonlight like liquid silver, flows with your physical vitality, your health, your body's wisdom, your connection to the natural world. See how it moves with natural rhythm, never forced. Release any tension you're holding in your physical body now. Let your legs become completely heavy, your feet relaxing as if they're resting in cool stream water. And here, he gestures to the northern channel, flows the river of your spiritual life, your connection to the divine, your inner growth, your quest for meaning and transcendence. Feel any spiritual seeking or yearning in your consciousness, gently flowing now, not as desperate grasping, but as natural movement toward your highest good. Yasmin watches the 4 streams converging at the center, creating gentle turbulence that somehow enhances rather than disrupts the overall flow. But Master, how do I keep all 4 rivers flowing equally? Sometimes my work demands everything. Other times, family crises consume all my energy. The Persian master smiles, his eyes twinkling like stars reflected in water. Ah, but you misunderstand the garden's teaching. Look more carefully at the channels. As they walk closer to examine the waterways, Yasmin notices something remarkable. The channels are not identical. Some are wider, some narrower, and the flow varies throughout the day and seasons. The eastern channel, representing work, flows strongest during daylight hours. The relationship channel swells during times when families gather. The spiritual channel deepens during quiet evening hours like this one. The wisdom of Chahar Bagh is not equal distribution. Farid explains, his voice soft as water over stones, but harmonious flow. In spring, the channels carrying new growth run fullest. In autumn, the streams of harvest and gathering swell. In winter, the inner spiritual channels deepen while outer activities quiet. Feel this understanding settling into your own consciousness now. You don't need to force equal attention to every aspect of life. Every moment you need to trust the natural seasons and rhythms of your existence. But what about the center? Yasmin asks, gazing into the octagonal pool where all 4 streams meet. What happens when the waters converge? Ah, the master says, settling beside the fountain. This is where the magic occurs. When the 4 aspects of life flow naturally, neither forcing nor restricting, they create something greater than their sum. This central pool represents your essential being, your true nature that remains peaceful, regardless of which channel flows strongest at any given time. As you absorb this teaching, imagine your own 4 life rivers flowing within you. Feel your work life as one current, your relationships as another, your physical well-being as a third stream, and your spiritual growth as the fourth. Notice how they can flow simultaneously without conflict when you're not trying to control or equal their flow. Yasmin kneels by the central fountain and cups the water in her palms. I think I understand, Master. I've been trying to dam up some rivers to make others flow stronger, but that just creates pressure and eventual flooding. Exactly. Farid nods. When you try to completely stop the flow to your work to focus only on family, the pressure builds until it bursts forth chaotically. When you ignore your spiritual nature to focus only on worldly concerns, that river finds unhealthy outlets. The art is in conscious flow management, not flow prevention. The Master demonstrates by adjusting small stones in the channels, not to stop the water, but to guide its course more gracefully. Sometimes your work river needs wider banks for important projects. Other times, your family river requires deeper channels for crisis or celebration. But always, all 4 continue flowing, and always they meet in the peaceful center of your being. As the teaching continues, feel your body releasing even more deeply. Your lower back settles completely, your pelvis heavy and supported. The wisdom of the 4 rivers is working within you, helping you understand that balance doesn't mean rigid equality. It means graceful responsiveness to life's changing seasons. Yasmin spends the night in the garden, walking the pathways between the 4 quarters, observing how each area serves its unique purpose while contributing to the whole. In the work quarter, she sees fruit trees that provide sustenance, productive effort that nourishes others. In the relationship quarter, flowering plants that cross-pollinate and support each other's growth. In the physical quarter, healing herbs that maintain health and vitality. In the spiritual quarter, tall trees that reach toward infinite sky while staying rooted in earth. Master, she says as dawn approaches, I see now that my exhaustion came from fighting the natural flow rather than working with it. I was trying to be everything to everyone at every moment instead of trusting the wisdom of seasonal emphasis. Farid places his weathered hand on her shoulder. The garden teaches that when we align with natural flow rather than forcing artificial balance, life becomes effortless, like water following gravity. Effort without strain, engagement without exhaustion, purposeful action from peaceful center. As this second teaching settles into your consciousness, feel the 4 rivers beginning to flow within you with greater harmony. Any area of your life that feels chaotic or overwhelming can now find its natural rhythm, neither rushing nor stagnant. Your breath continues naturally, effortlessly, like gentle currents in the sacred channels. Your entire torso, chest, shoulders, back releases into perfect comfort. The Persian garden's wisdom flows through you now. True balance comes not from forcing equal distribution, but from trusting the intelligent flow of life itself. The fountains sing their ancient melodies as you prepare to leave this second sanctuary. The 4 rivers continue their eternal dance, showing you that peace isn't found in controlling life's flow, but in becoming one with its deeper rhythms. As we prepare to journey toward the 3rd sacred garden, carry with you this understanding. You don't need to perfectly balance every aspect of life in every moment. You need only to trust the seasonal wisdom that knows when to emphasize work, when to pour energy into relationships, when to restore your physical vitality, and when to deepen your spiritual connection. Your body grows heavier with each breath, more relaxed with each heartbeat. The second gate of wisdom has opened, revealing that harmony comes through flow, not force. The silent stone monk. The Persian garden's 4 rivers continue flowing in your memory as gentle currents of wisdom. Feel how this understanding has settled into your consciousness, that life's harmony comes through natural flow rather than forced balance. Your body has become wonderfully heavy now, each muscle group releasing more completely as we journey deeper into these ancient sanctuaries. Allow your breathing to find its own perfect rhythm, like water following the path of least resistance. Notice how your chest rises and falls without any effort from you, just as the sacred rivers flow without forcing their course. Through moonlit pathways lined with bamboo that whispers ancient secrets, you discover the 3rd sacred sanctuary, the Garden of the Silent Stone. Monk. This is unlike the previous gardens here. There is no flowing water, yet. Paradoxically, this is the most profound water garden of all. Before you stretches a perfectly raked expanse of white gravel, its surface carved into flowing patterns that suggest vast oceans frozen in time. Carefully placed stones emerge from this sea of stillness like islands of contemplation. Each rake mark catches moonlight, creating the illusion of waves that never move, currents that flow in eternal stillness. Here, centuries ago, lived a monk known only as a Jishin, which means stillness of earth. Unlike other masters who taught through words or elaborate ceremonies, Jishin communicated primarily through presence, through the profound silence that emanated from his being like ripples from a stone dropped in still water. On this particular night, as crickets provide the only sound in the vast quiet, a young novice named Kenji approaches the garden. He has been studying at the monastery for 3 years, but his mind remains restless, constantly churning with thoughts, plans, worries, and spiritual ambitions. Master Jishin, Kenji says, bowing deeply at the edge of the raked gravel. I have tried every meditation technique. I sit for hours, but my mind is like a monkey, swinging from branch to branch. How do I achieve the stillness you embody? How do I quiet this endless mental chatter? The silent stone monk does not speak. Instead, he gestures for Kenji to follow him into the garden. Their footsteps would normally disturb the perfectly raked patterns, but somehow the gravel seems to flow around their presence, maintaining its wave-like perfection. Feel your own mind beginning to quiet now as you witness this scene. Any thoughts arising about tomorrow's responsibilities, about this story itself, about the comfort of your body, simply let them be like gentle waves on a distant shore. You don't need to engage with them or push them away. Jishin leads Kenji to the largest stone in the garden, a massive boulder that sits perfectly centered in the raked sea. The monk settles into meditation posture beside it, and Kenji follows suit, though his fidgeting betrays his inner restlessness. Minutes pass in silence. Then an hour. Kenji's mind races. Am I doing this right? Why isn't the master teaching me anything? Maybe I should ask a question. No, wait, I should be quiet. But this silence is driving me crazy. When will something happen? As you observe Kenji's mental struggle, notice any similar patterns in your own consciousness. Perhaps your mind is generating commentary about this story, or planning what you'll do tomorrow, or wondering when you'll fall asleep. This is completely natural, the same restlessness that Kenji experiences. The silent stone monk remains perfectly still beside the great stone, his breathing so subtle it's barely perceptible. Hours pass. The moon travels across the sky, Still, Jishin says nothing, teaches nothing obvious, just is in complete stillness. Finally, as dawn begins to lighten the eastern sky, Kenji can contain himself no longer. "Master, please, I've sat here all night, but I feel no closer to stillness. My mind is more agitated than when we began. What am I supposed to learn and from sitting in silence beside a rock? For the first time, Jishin speaks, his voice so soft it seems to come from the earth itself. "Tell me, young Kenji, has this stone been disturbed by your mental activity?" Kenji looks at the massive boulder, ancient, weathered, completely unchanged by the hours of sitting by, his inner turmoil by the passage of night into day. "No, master, the stone remains as it was." "And has the raked gravel been agitated by your racing thoughts?" Kenji observes the flowing patterns in the white stones, still perfect despite the hurricane of mental activity he's experienced. "No, master, the garden remains peaceful." "Then perhaps," Jishin continues, his words barely audible, "the stillness you seek isn't the absence of mental movement, but the presence of awareness that remains unmoved by whatever arises within it. Feel this teaching settling into your own consciousness now. Your thoughts may continue. This is natural, like waves on the ocean's surface. But beneath the waves, in the depths of your being, there exists a profound stillness that no thought can disturb, like the ocean floor that remains calm regardless of surface storms." The silent stone monk rises and walks slowly around the great boulder, his movements fluid yet deliberate. This stone has witnessed 1,000 storms, endured countless seasons, felt the footsteps of thousands of pilgrims. Yet it remains fundamentally unchanged. It doesn't resist the storm or grasp at calm weather. It simply is what it is, maintaining its essential nature regardless of conditions. Kenji follows the master's slow circumambulation, beginning to understand something beyond words. "Master, are you saying that true stillness isn't about stopping thoughts, but about becoming like the stone, present and unmoved by mental weather?" "The stone doesn't try to be still," Jishin responds. "Stillness is its nature. Similarly, the deepest part of you, your essential awareness, is naturally still. You don't need to create this stillness. You need only to recognize it. As you absorb this profound teaching, feel your body settling even more deeply into relaxation. Your pelvis becomes heavy and supported, your thighs releasing completely. Any mental activity continues naturally, but you begin to sense the unchanging awareness that observes all thoughts, like the moon reflecting in water, present and constant regardless of what the water contains. They sit again, but now Kenji's relationship with his thoughts has shifted. When mental chatter arises, "What time is it? I'm hungry. This is taking forever." Instead of fighting these thoughts or being consumed by them, he notices something deeper, the awareness that perceives the thoughts themselves. "Master," he whispers after another hour of sitting, "I think I'm beginning to understand. The thoughts keep coming, but something in me watches them without being disturbed. It's like I'm the stone and thoughts are just weather passing over me." Jishin nods almost imperceptibly. The raked gravel represents the surface mind. It can be easily disturbed, patterns constantly changing with each passing influence. But beneath the gravel lies bedrock, solid, unmovable, eternal. This bedrock is your true nature. The teaching continues as the sun rises, fully casting long shadows across the garden. Jishin demonstrates by taking a wooden rake and creating new patterns in the gravel swirls and lines that suggest different emotional states, various thoughts and experiences. Yet the stones beneath remain unchanged: anger, joy, fear, love. The master says as he creates different patterns, all emotions arise and pass like changing designs in gravel. The wise person enjoys the beauty of each pattern without believing any single design defines who they are. Feel this wisdom working within your own consciousness now. Any emotions you've carried from the day, stress from work, concern about relationships, excitement about future plans. These are like temporary patterns in the gravel of your surface mind. Beneath them lies your essential nature, vast, still, unshakable. Kenji spends the following days in the garden learning to identify, not just with the constantly changing patterns of thought and emotion, but with the steady awareness that perceives all changes. He practices what Jishin calls stone meditation, sitting so still and present that his identification shifts from the temporary patterns to the permanent ground of being. "Master," he says one evening as they sit in the garden's profound quiet, "I used to think stillness meant having no thoughts. Now I see that stillness is what thoughts arise within. It's like the thoughts are just temporary ripples on the surface of an infinitely deep lake." The silent stone monk smiles, the first expression Kenji has seen from him. When you realize you are the lake rather than the ripples, you understand the secret of this garden. The patterns in the gravel are beautiful and ever-changing, but they emerge from and return to unchanging stillness. As this teaching integrates into your awareness, feel your entire body reaching a new level of deep relaxation. Your lower legs become completely heavy, your feet settling as if into warm sand. The wisdom of the stone monk flows through you. True peace isn't found in having no thoughts, but in recognizing the unchanging awareness that hosts all thoughts. The hours pass in profound quiet. Occasionally, birds call from the bamboo grove. Sometimes, wind stirs the surrounding trees. But the garden's essential silence remains undisturbed, not the silence of absence, but the silence of complete presence. "Master," Kenji asks as they prepare to leave the garden at dawn, "how do I carry this understanding into daily life? How do I remember to be the stone when the world demands constant reaction?" Jishin pauses at the garden's edge and points back at the great boulder. The stone doesn't practice being a stone. It doesn't meditate on stillness or work to achieve peace. It simply rests in its own nature. When you truly understand what you are not, the thoughts, not the emotions, not the stories, but the aware presence that witnesses all these, then you carry this garden wherever you go. As you prepare to leave this third sanctuary, feel the silent stone. Monk's teaching taking root in your consciousness. You don't need to fight your thoughts or force your mind to be quiet. You need only to recognize the vast, still awareness that you already are. The awareness reading these words, the presence that has been constant throughout your entire life, regardless of what thoughts and experiences have come and gone. Your breathing continues naturally, effortlessly. Your body has found perfect rest, like a stone settled in its rightful place. The third gate of wisdom opens, revealing that the stillness you seek is not something to achieve, but something to recognize, the unchanging awareness that is your deepest nature. The garden of raked stones fades into gentle memory, but its teaching remains. You are not the changing patterns of thought and emotion, but the eternal stillness from which all patterns emerge and to which they return. This understanding will deepen as our journey continues through the remaining sacred sanctuaries. The Egyptian mirror pool, the profound silence of the stone garden settles into your consciousness like sediment in still water. Feel how the silent stone monk's teaching has become part of you. The understanding that you are not the changing patterns of thought, but the unchanging awareness that witnesses all patterns. Your body has found a deeper level of rest, now each muscle group releasing completely as we journey toward the fourth sacred sanctuary. Allow your breath to flow with the natural rhythm of deep relaxation. Notice how your torso has become wonderfully heavy, chest, shoulders, back and abdomen all settling into perfect comfort. The wisdom you've gathered flows through you like gentle streams, preparing you for the next profound teaching. Through corridors of ancient stone carved with hieroglyphs that seem to shift and dance in torchlight, you discover the fourth sacred sanctuary, the Egyptian mirror pool. This is perhaps the most mysterious of all the water gardens, a perfectly circular pool of black water so still it appears solid like polished obsidian, reflecting eternity itself. Here in this temple courtyard, beneath stars that have witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, the ancient Egyptians created what they called the Pool of Seeing, a sacred mirror where seekers came not to see their physical reflection, but to glimpse their true spiritual nature. Tonight, as incense burns in golden braziers and hieroglyphs glow softly on surrounding walls, a young scribe named Amenhotep approaches the pool. He has studied in the temple libraries for years, mastering sacred texts, learning the mysteries of the afterlife, perfecting rituals of purification. Yet something essential eludes him, a direct knowing of his own divine nature. "Master Keti," he says, bowing to the elderly priest who tends this sacred space, "I have memorized every sacred text, performed countless rituals, yet I feel further from the divine than when I began. How can I truly know my spiritual essence? How can I see my soul?" The ancient priest, his shaved head gleaming in the torchlight, gestures toward the mirror-like surface of the pool. "Tell me, young Amenhotep, what do you expect to see when you look into these sacred waters?" Amenhotep gazes hopefully at the black surface. "I hope to see my Ka, master, my divine double, my spiritual self. The texts speak of the soul's radiance, of our connection to the gods. I long to witness this truth directly." Master Keti nods thoughtfully. The ancient wisdom teaches that when mortals look into still water or polished metal, it is their K, their spiritual double, that looks back. But tell me, what if you are seeking in the wrong direction? As you listen to this exchange, feel your own longing for spiritual understanding. Perhaps you too have searched for divine connection outside yourself in teachers or texts or experiences. Allow this seeking energy to soften now, like breath releasing on a long exhale. The priest continues, his voice resonating like distant thunder. Our ancestors understood something profound about mirrors and reflections. They knew that what we see depends not just on what is before us, but on who is doing the seeing. Amenhotep kneels beside the pool, his face reflected perfectly in its obsidian surface. But as he gazes deeper, confusion clouds his features. "Master, I see only my ordinary face. Tired eyes, worried brow, the same features I see every morning. Where is the divine radiance the texts promise?" Master Keti smiles, settling beside the pool with ancient grace. But you are looking for something extraordinary, when the most extraordinary truth is perfectly ordinary. Tell me, who is seeing your reflection? I am, Master. I am seeing my reflection. And who is this I that sees point to the one who is looking? Amenhotep touches his chest, then his forehead, then gestures vaguely around himself. I am here, Master. In my body, in my mind. Feel this same exploration happening within your own awareness now. As you listen to these ancient words, notice the one who is listening. Can you locate this awareness that perceives these thoughts, this story, these sensations? Is it in your head, your heart, or somewhere else entirely? Master Keti dips his finger into the sacred pool, creating gentle ripples that distort Amenhotep's reflection. Watch carefully. What happens to your image when the water moves? It fragments, Master. It becomes wavy and unclear. And what happens to the one who sees the fragmented image? Amenhotep pauses, a glimmer of understanding beginning to dawn. The seer remains unchanged, Master. I still see clearly, even though my reflection is disturbed. Now we approach the teaching of the mirror pool. The priest says, his voice dropping to a whisper that seems to come from the stone walls themselves. Your physical reflection is like your thoughts, your emotions, your life circumstances, constantly changing, sometimes clear, sometimes disturbed. But the awareness that perceives all these changes, what happens to that? Feel this profound recognition settling into your consciousness. Your thoughts about work, relationships, future plans, these mental images come and go like reflections in disturbed water. But something in you remains constant, witnessing all changes without being changed. Amenhotep stares into the pool with new eyes. Master, I think I begin to understand. I have been looking for my divine nature as if it were an object to be seen, but what if my divine nature is the very capacity to see? The ancient priest nods slowly. The texts speak of Ra's eye that sees all creation. But what if you are not separate from that divine seeing? What if the awareness, reading these hieroglyphs, perceiving this pool, experiencing this moment, what if this is itself the divine presence you seek? Allow this understanding to wash over you like cool water on sun-warmed skin. You don't need to acquire divine awareness. You are divine. Awareness temporarily focused through the lens of a human experience. The very consciousness reading these words, feeling these sensations, is not separate from the universal consciousness that the ancients called divine. As the night deepens, Amenhotep's relationship with the mirror pool transforms completely. Instead of searching for visions or supernatural experiences, he begins to rest in the simple awareness that perceives whatever appears. Sometimes his clear reflection, sometimes ripples and distortions, sometimes the surrounding temple walls reflected in the water's surface. Master, he says, as understanding deepens like water soaking into desert sand. When I stop looking for something special to appear in the pool and simply rest as the awareness that sees whatever is there, I feel a profound peace. Is this what the texts mean by union with the divine? Master Keti places his weathered hand on Amenhotep's shoulder. The pool of seeing teaches that what you truly are cannot be seen as an object because you are the subject, the pure seeing itself. Your Ka, your divine double, is not something separate from you that you might glimpse in reflection. It is you, the very awareness through which all experience flows. Feel your body settling even more deeply now as this teaching integrates. Your lower back releases completely, your pelvis heavy and supported. The wisdom of the mirror pool flows through you. You are not seeking divine connection because you never lost it. You are the divine awareness that appears to be seeking itself. The teaching continues throughout the night as Amenhotep learns to distinguish between the ever-changing contents of awareness, thoughts, feelings, perceptions, reflections, and awareness itself, which remains constant, like the space in which all experiences appear and disappear. Look into the pool again, Master Keti instructs as dawn approaches. But this time, instead of focusing on what appears in the water, notice the one who is looking. Rest as that seeing awareness itself. Amenhotep gazes into the sacred waters, but his attention has completely reversed. Instead of seeking his divine nature, in the reflection he recognizes himself as the divine, seeing that makes all reflections possible. A profound stillness settles over him, not the stillness of objects, but the dynamic stillness of pure awareness itself. Master, it's extraordinary, he whispers, his voice filled with wonder. When I rest as awareness itself, rather than trying to see awareness as an object, there's such peace, such presence. Is this why the pool is considered sacred? Every mirror is sacred when understood correctly, the priest replies, because every reflection, every experience, every moment is the divine playing hide and seek with itself. You, young Amenhotep, are not a person seeking God. You are God temporarily pretending to be a person, and the mirror pool simply reflects this truth back to you. As this profound teaching settles into your consciousness, feel any sense of separation or seeking gently dissolving. The awareness reading these words, feeling these sensations, experiencing this moment, this is not separate from the universal consciousness that mystics call divine. You are not a wave seeking the ocean. You are the ocean expressing itself as a wave. The sacred pool grows still again as dawn light begins to illuminate the temple courtyard. Amenhotep rises from his night of revelation, but something fundamental has shifted. He no longer sees himself as a seeker searching for spiritual truth. He recognizes himself as spiritual truth, temporarily focused through human experience. Master Keti, he says, as they prepare to leave the mirror pool, how do I maintain this understanding in daily life? How do I remember what I am when I'm caught up in mundane activities? The ancient priest gestures to the pool one final time. The mirror reflects whatever is placed before it, beautiful or ugly, clear or distorted, without preference, without resistance. Learn to be like this sacred water, perfectly present to whatever experience arises, knowing that all experiences are temporary appearances within the permanent awareness that you are. Feel your legs becoming completely heavy. Now thighs and knees releasing into perfect relaxation. The understanding from the Egyptian mirror pool flows through your entire being. You don't need to achieve enlightenment, because enlightenment is your nature, the very awareness through which all experiences of seeking and finding arise. As you prepare to leave this fourth sanctuary, the black water of the mirror pool reflects the morning sky like a window into infinity. The teaching remains crystal clear. You are not the changing reflections in the mirror of consciousness. You are consciousness itself, eternally present, eternally aware, eternally at peace. Your breathing continues naturally, effortlessly, like gentle waves on an endless shore. Your calves and feet settle into complete comfort, your entire body surrendering to the profound rest that comes from recognizing your true nature. The fourth gate of wisdom opens, revealing that what you seek is what you are. The divine awareness that appears to be seeking itself through the beautiful dream of human experience. The Egyptian mirror. Pool fades into gentle memory, but its teaching remains forever when you stop looking for your divine nature in reflections and rest as the seeing awareness itself. You discover the sacred presence that has never been absent. This recognition deepens our journey as we prepare to explore the fifth sacred sanctuary, where ancient wisdom reveals yet another facet of the infinite jewel of awakened understanding, the wandering drop. The profound teaching of the Egyptian mirror pool continues to resonate within your consciousness like ripples spreading across an infinite lake. Feel how this understanding has transformed your sense of self, no longer seeking divine awareness, but recognizing yourself as divine awareness temporarily focused through human experience. Your body has reached new depths of relaxation now, each part settling into perfect comfort as we journey toward the fifth sacred sanctuary. Allow your breath to flow naturally like gentle currents in an endless ocean. Notice how your entire body feels wonderfully supported, as if you're floating on warm, sacred waters. The wisdom you've gathered from 4 ancient gardens flows through you now, preparing you for perhaps the most profound teaching yet. Through misty mountain paths where ancient pines whisper secrets of eternity, you discover the fifth sacred sanctuary, the Garden of the Wandering Drop. Here, high in the Himalayan peaks where eagles soar between earth and sky, a crystal-clear mountain spring bubbles up from deep within the earth, beginning its journey toward the vast ocean thousands of miles away. This garden is unlike the others. It's not contained within walls or formal boundaries. Instead, it follows the natural course of water as it transforms from spring to stream to river to delta to ocean. Each stage representing a different understanding of individual consciousness merging with universal awareness. Tonight, as stars shine with the clarity that only mountain air provides, you witness a conversation between an ancient Tibetan master named Tenzin and a small drop of water that has just emerged from the sacred spring. The drop, glistening like a tiny diamond in the moonlight, trembles with uncertainty as it clings to a maze-covered rock. Master Tenzin, the drop speaks in a voice like wind chimes. I am so afraid. The stream calls to me, pulling me toward the great river, but I don't want to lose myself. What if I disappear? What if I become nothing? As you listen to this unusual dialogue, feel into your own fears about losing individual identity, perhaps in relationships, in work situations, or in spiritual practice. Notice any resistance to letting go that might exist in your consciousness and allow it to soften like ice melting in spring sunshine. Master Tenzin, his weathered face kind with countless years of wisdom, kneels beside the spring and speaks gently to the frightened drop. Tell me, little one, what do you think you are? The drop shimmers with pride despite its fear. I am unique, Master. I reflect light in my own special way. I have my own shape, my own perfect roundness. If I join the stream, won't I lose all of this? Won't I just become part of something larger and lose my special individuality? Feel your body settling even deeper now as you contemplate this ancient dialogue. Your thighs become completely heavy, your knees releasing into perfect relaxation. This conversation between Master and Waterdrop mirrors your own relationship with unity and separation. The Tibetan Master smiles with infinite compassion. Little Drop, you speak of your uniqueness, your special nature. Tell me, what are you made of? Water, of course. The Drop replies, somewhat confused by the obvious question. And what is the stream made of? Water, but that's different. The stream is vast and moving, and what is the river made of? The Drop pauses, beginning to sense where this inquiry leads. Watermaster, and the ocean, also water. Tenzin nods. Now, precious Drop, if you are water, and the stream is water, and the river is water, and the ocean is water, what exactly would you lose by joining them? Allow this understanding to wash over your consciousness like a gentle wave. Feel how this teaching applies to your own spiritual journey. The awareness reading these words it really separate from the universal awareness that perceives all experience everywhere. The Drop contemplates this wisdom as night deepens around the sacred spring. But Master, if I'm just water, like everything else, then what makes me me? Tenzin dips his finger into the spring and lets several drops flow from his hand. Watch carefully, little one. Are these drops different from you? Well, no, we're all water, but we each have our own position, our own perspective. Exactly, the Master exclaims softly. Your uniqueness isn't separate from your water nature. It is your water nature expressing itself from this particular point of view. When you join the stream, you don't lose your essence. You expand your expression. Feel this profound understanding settling into your awareness. You are not losing your individuality as you relax more deeply. You are discovering that your true individuality includes connection with the universal consciousness that animates all life. As the teaching continues, the frightened Drop begins to understand something revolutionary. Master, are you saying that I can be fully myself and be part of something larger, that joining the stream actually enhances rather than diminishes who I am? Watch the stream flowing past us, Tenzin suggests. Do you see how each part moves with its own character, some rushing over rocks, some pooling in quiet eddies, some catching moonlight differently, yet all flowing together toward the same destination? The Drop observes the stream with new eyes, seeing how water expresses infinite variety while maintaining essential unity. Some sections dance playfully over stones, others flow deeply and silently, some create small waterfalls, while others form peaceful pools. Yet, all are clearly part of the same flowing whole. I think I'm beginning to understand. The Drop whispers, its trembling subsiding. The stream doesn't erase the water's nature. It reveals water's infinite possibilities for expression. Feel your lower legs releasing completely. Now, your calves heavy and warm. This understanding of unity without loss of uniqueness flows through your entire being, dissolving any anxiety about surrendering control or losing yourself in larger wholeness. The Master continues the teaching as they follow the stream's path down the mountainside. Little Drop, imagine you could speak with a drop that has already reached the ocean. What do you think it would tell you? The Drop considers this carefully. Perhaps it would say that becoming part of the ocean didn't diminish it, but revealed its true vastness, that it discovered it was never really separate from the ocean to begin with. Wisdom begins to dawn. Tenzin nods approvingly. The ocean isn't foreign to you, it's your original nature. You emerged from the ocean's evaporation, formed in clouds, fell as rain soaked into earth, and now bubble up as spring water. You're not journeying towards something foreign, you're returning to your source. Allow this cosmic perspective to expand your awareness. Feel how your individual consciousness emerged from and will return to the same universal awareness that governs stars and galaxies. You are not separate from this cosmic intelligence. You are this intelligence temporarily focused through human experience. As dawn approaches, the drop's fear transforms into excitement. Master, I feel something shifting inside me. Instead of fearing the loss of myself, I'm beginning to long for the expansion of myself. Is this how spiritual growth works? Indeed, Tenzin replies, his voice carrying the wisdom of countless ages. True spiritual development isn't about becoming something you're not. It's about recognizing what you've always been. The wave doesn't become the ocean. It realizes it was never separate from the ocean. The teaching reaches its crescendo as the first rays of sunlight touch the sacred spring. The drop, now radiant with understanding, begins to release its grip on the moss-covered rock. Master, I see now that my fear of joining the stream was based on a misunderstanding. I thought I was a separate thing that might be lost in something else. But I'm not a thing at all. I'm water expressing itself as a temporary form. And water's nature is to flow, to connect, to become its fullest expression. Feel your feet becoming completely relaxed now, your entire body surrendering to the profound rest that comes from understanding your true nature. Like the wandering drop, you are not a separate entity that might be lost in spiritual awakening. You are consciousness itself, temporarily expressing as an individual perspective. As you witness the drop joyfully releasing into the stream, notice how it doesn't disappear, but becomes part of a larger dance. Its unique contribution enriches the stream's flow, while the stream carries it toward unimaginable expansion. Remember this teaching. Master Tenzin calls as the drop flows away, its voice now harmonizing with countless other drops in the stream's song. Separation is the dream, unity is the awakening. But unity doesn't erase uniqueness, it reveals that uniqueness and oneness are two ways of perceiving the same truth. The stream carries this wisdom down the mountainside, eventually joining a river, then flowing to the sea. At each stage, the water becomes more vast and powerful while retaining its essential nature. The drop that was once afraid of losing itself has discovered instead that the self it thought it would lose was far smaller than the self it truly is. As this fifth teaching integrates into your consciousness, feel any remaining tension in your body dissolving like salt in warm water. Your breath flows naturally, effortlessly, like streams returning to their source. The wisdom of the wandering drop reveals that you don't need to choose between individuality and unity. Your truest individuality is your unity with all life. The garden of the wandering drop stretches endlessly now from mountain spring to vast ocean, showing you that consciousness itself is like water. One substance, expressing infinite forms, one awareness, experiencing countless perspectives, one love, appearing as many hearts. Your entire body rests in perfect comfort as we prepare to journey toward the sixth sacred sanctuary. The fifth gate of wisdom opens, revealing that what appears as separation is simply consciousness, playing hide and seek with itself, and what appears as unity is consciousness, celebrating its infinite creativity through apparent multiplicity. The sacred spring continues its eternal song, each drop teaching the next that the journey from separation to unity is not a journey at all. It's a recognition that the separation was always imaginary and the unity was always real. This understanding deepens as our pilgrimage through ancient wisdom continues toward the remaining mysteries that await. The Tea Master's garden, the wisdom of the wandering drop, continues to flow through you, a gentle current of unity and peace. You have journeyed from the mountain spring to the ocean, discovering that your true nature is not lost in unity, but revealed and expanded. Your body now rests in a profound state of relaxation, each breath drawing you deeper into tranquility as we arrive at the sixth sacred sanctuary. Let your awareness settle softly in the present moment. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath, the comforting weight of your body, the sense of being held in a space of ancient wisdom. With every exhale, allow any lingering tension to melt away, as if you are being bathed in the warm, healing waters of a sacred spring. Through a winding path lined with mossy stones and delicate bamboo, you find yourself entering a small, secluded tea garden. This is the garden of the Tea Master, a sanctuary of simplicity, humility, and presence. Here the sound of water is subtle. A bamboo fountain called a shishi odoshi fills and tips, releasing a soft, rhythmic knock that echoes through the stillness. The air is fragrant with the scent of fresh leaves and moist earth. In this garden, centuries ago, lived Master Sora, a humble tea master known for his quiet wisdom. People from distant lands traveled to sit with him, hoping to learn the secrets of enlightenment. Yet Sora's teachings were never grand or complex. Instead, he found the infinite in the ordinary, the sacred in the simple act of making and sharing tea. One misty morning, a wealthy merchant named Akio arrives at the garden, burdened by the pressures of his busy life. He seeks answers, quick solutions to his endless worries. Master Sora, Akio says, bowing respectfully, "I have heard of your wisdom. My days are filled with stress and striving. I long for peace, but I do not have time for long meditations or difficult practices. Is there a shortcut to tranquility?" Master Sora smiles gently, gesturing for Akio to sit with him on the wooden veranda overlooking the small pond. "Peace is not found in shortcuts," the master says softly, "but in the path beneath your feet. Let us share a bowl of tea." As you listen, imagine yourself seated on the veranda, feeling the cool wood beneath you, the gentle breeze on your skin. The world slows down here. There is no rush, no urgency, only the quiet presence of this moment. With deliberate care, Master Sora prepares the tea. He pours water from a simple clay kettle, watching as steam rises and swirls in the morning air. He measures the tea leaves, listening to the faint rustle as they fall into the pot. Each movement is unhurried, each gesture full of attention. Akio fidgets impatient, but Sora remains completely absorbed in the task. Feel your own breath slowing as you witness this ritual. Notice the sensations in your hands, the temperature of the air, the sounds around you. With each inhale, draw in calmness. With each exhale, let go of impatience and restlessness. When the tea is ready, Master Sora pours it into 2 small cups. He offers one to Akio, who takes it with a sigh, still thinking about his problems. "Master, what is the lesson in this?" he asks, barely tasting the tea. Sora sips his tea in silence, then sets his cup down. "Akio, when you drank this tea, were you truly present? Did you notice the warmth of the cup, the aroma of the leaves, the way the flavor changed as you swallowed. Akio looks down, realizing he had not. His mind had been elsewhere, lost in worries about business and the future. The secret to peace, Sora continues, is not hidden in distant lands or complicated teachings. It is here in the act of drinking tea. When you give your full attention to a simple moment, you discover the infinite within the ordinary. Let this teaching settle into your own awareness. Bring your attention to the sensations of your body, the rhythm of your breath, the subtle sounds in your environment. Notice how, in this very moment, there is nothing to fix or change. There is only the experience of being alive, right here, right now. Akio takes another sip. This time, paying attention, he feels the warmth of the cup, the gentle bitterness of the tea, the way the liquid soothes his throat. For the first time in years, his mind grows quiet. The relentless stream of thoughts slows, replaced by a sense of ease and clarity. "Master Sora," he whispers, "is it really this simple?" Sora smiles, his eyes shining with kindness. Simplicity is the greatest secret. When you are fully present, even the smallest act becomes a doorway to peace. The mind's restlessness is like the bamboo fountain, always filling, always tipping, never satisfied. But when you rest in awareness, you become like the pond, reflecting everything, disturbed by nothing. Feel your own mind settling now, thoughts drifting by like clouds in a clear sky. Each breath draws you deeper into stillness. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. You are simply here, present and aware. The day passes slowly in the tea garden. Akio learns to sweep the path, to arrange stones, to listen to the sound of water without needing to analyze or control. With each simple act, he discovers a new depth of peace. The garden becomes a sanctuary not because it is special, but because he is finally present enough to notice its beauty. As the sun sets, Akio bows deeply to Master Sora. "Thank you, Master. I came seeking shortcuts, but I have found something greater, the peace that is always here, waiting beneath my busy thoughts." Sora bows in return. Remember, Akio, every cup of tea, every breath, every step is an opportunity to return to yourself. The sacred is not elsewhere, it is in the heart of every moment. Let this wisdom fill you now. With each inhale, draw in presence. With each exhale, release distraction. Your body is completely at ease, your mind clear and open. You are resting in the heart of the present, where true peace is always available. The tea garden fades gently from your awareness, but its teaching remains. You carry with you the understanding that presence is the gateway to tranquility, that the infinite is found in the ordinary. That every moment, no matter how simple, can be sacred when met with full attention. Your entire being is now bathed in the quiet joy of presence. The sixth gate of wisdom opens, revealing that you do not need to change your life to find peace. You need only to be fully present for the life you already have. As you prepare to journey onward, the sound of the bamboo fountain echoes softly in your memory, a gentle reminder that peace is always within reach, waiting in the next breath, the next sip of tea, the next moment of awareness. The Dragon Gate, waterfall, the wisdom of presence. From the Tea Master's garden lingers within you, a gentle reminder that the sacred is always found in the ordinary and that peace is just a breath away. Your body is now deeply relaxed, your mind quiet and open as we approach the seventh sacred sanctuary. Let your breath flow naturally. With each inhale, draw in vitality. With each exhale, let go of any last tension. Feel the gentle pulse of life within you, steady and calm as the next story unfolds. High in the mountains of ancient China, where mist clings to pine-covered cliffs and the air is alive with the scent of rain, there lies a legendary waterfall known as the Dragon Gate. Here the river narrows and plunges over a sheer precipice, creating a roaring cascade that fills the valley with thunder and spray. For centuries, this place has been revered as a site of transformation, a gateway where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. According to legend, every year during the spring floods, thousands of carp gather at the base of the waterfall. Driven by an ancient longing, they leap again and again, striving to ascend the falls. Most are swept back by the relentless torrent, but some persist, refusing to give up. It is said that any carp who succeeds in surmounting the Dragon Gate is transformed into a mighty dragon soaring into the sky on wings of cloud and lightning. In this sacred place, a young monk named Liang stands beside the churning river, watching the carp as they struggle against the current. He is weary from years of spiritual practice, frustrated by his slow progress and the seeming impossibility of true awakening. His teacher, Master Yun, approaches quietly, his robes fluttering in the mountain breeze. "Liang," he says, "why do you look so troubled?" Liang bows, his voice tinged with despair. "Master, I have practiced diligently, but I feel no closer to enlightenment. Each time I make progress, I am swept back by old habits and doubts. I fear I will never succeed." Master Yun gestures to the waterfall. "Do you see these carp? Year after year, they return to this place, leaping again and again. Most will never reach the top, but still they try. What do you think drives them?" Liang watches as a golden carp hurls itself upward, only to be dashed back by the torrent. They are driven by instinct, by longing. But is it not hopeless so few ever succeed? The master smiles, his eyes reflecting the dancing spray. The legend says that the carp who perseveres, who refuses to give up despite countless failures, is transformed into a dragon. The leap itself is the path, the struggle, the effort, the willingness to try again and again. Transformation is not a single moment, but the sum of every attempt, every fall, every rise. Let this teaching settle into your own heart. Think of the challenges you have faced, the times you have tried and failed, the moments when you doubted your ability to change. Notice how each effort, no matter the outcome, has shaped who you are. With each breath, honor your perseverance, your courage, your willingness to continue. Liang sighs, watching the carp. "But Master, what if I never become a dragon? What if I am destined to remain a carp, struggling forever?" Master Yun places a gentle hand on Liang's shoulder. The dragon is not a reward given only to the successful. The dragon is the realization that you were never just a carp. Every leap, every struggle, every moment of persistence reveals your true nature. The transformation is not in reaching the top, but in discovering the strength and spirit that has always been within you. Feel the truth of these words echoing in your own experience. Every challenge you have faced, every time you have risen after a fall, has revealed a deeper strength, a greater wisdom, a more profound compassion. You are not defined by your failures or your successes, but by your willingness to keep leaping, to keep growing, to keep believing in the possibility of transformation. As the day fades into twilight, Liang continues to watch the carp. He notices one small fish, battered and weary, resting in a quiet eddy. Again and again it gathers its strength and leaps, each time falling back, but never giving up. Something shifts in Liang's heart, a quiet resolve, a newfound patience. "Master," he says softly, "I understand now. The path is not about reaching the top, but about embracing the journey, trusting in the process, and never losing hope." Master Yun nods, his eyes shining with pride. When you leap with your whole heart, without attachment to the outcome, you have already become a dragon. The waterfall is not your enemy, but your teacher. It reveals your courage, your resilience, your true nature. Let this wisdom fill you as night settles over the mountains. With each breath, feel your own strength and perseverance. Know that every effort, every leap, every moment of persistence is a step on the path of transformation. You are already becoming the dragon, soaring on the wings of your own spirit. Your body is now completely at ease, your mind open and peaceful. The seventh gate of wisdom opens, revealing that true transformation comes not from a single moment of triumph, but from the courage to continue to rise again and again, to trust in the journey. As you prepare to rest, imagine yourself standing at the base of the Dragon Gate waterfall. Feel the cool spray on your face, the power of the water, the determination in your heart. With each breath you gather strength, ready to leap once more, not for the promise of becoming a dragon, but for the joy of the leap itself. The legend of the Dragon Gate lives within you now, a reminder that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every leap a testament to your spirit, every moment a chance to discover the dragon within. The Garden at Dawn. The journey through the sacred water gardens has brought you to the quietest hour of the night, where silence is deep and the world seems to pause in anticipation. The wisdom of the Dragon Gate, waterfall of perseverance, transformation, and the beauty of the journey rests gently within you. Your body is completely at ease, your mind open and receptive as you approach the final sanctuary, the Garden at Dawn. Let your breath be soft and natural. With each inhale, draw in the gentle promise of renewal. With each exhale, let go of everything that has come before. Allow yourself to feel the subtle energy of a new beginning, as if you are standing at the threshold of dawn itself. Beyond the last veil of night, where the sky begins to pale and the stars quietly retreat, lies the Garden at Dawn. This is not a garden of walls or gates, but a living tapestry woven from the first light of morning. Here dew glistens on every leaf, and the world awakens in a hush of expectancy. The air is cool and sweet, filled with the scent of new blossoms and the distant song of awakening birds. In this sacred place, an ancient master named Hana sits beneath a blossoming cherry tree, her presence calm and radiant. She has tended this garden for many lifetimes, welcoming seekers who arrive in darkness and guiding them gently toward the light. This morning, a young woman named May enters the garden. She is weary from her long journey, carrying the weight of old regrets and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. She sits beside Master Hana, watching as the sky brightens and the first golden rays touch the tops of the trees. Master Hana May whispers, "I have traveled far and learned much, but I am still troubled by the past and worried about the future. How can I find peace in a world that is always changing?" Master Hana smiles, her voice as gentle as the morning breeze. The world is always changing, May, just as night yields to day. But within every dawn is a promise. The chance to begin again, to let go of what has been, and to welcome what is yet to come. She gestures to the garden, where petals shimmer with dew and the light grows stronger with each passing moment. Every morning, the world is renewed. The mistakes of yesterday are washed away by the light of today. The future is not a burden, but a field of possibility waiting for you to step forward. Let this wisdom settle into your own heart. With each breath, feel the freshness of a new beginning. Imagine the light of dawn touching every part of your being, dissolving old regrets, softening fears, and filling you with quiet hope. My watches as the sun rises higher, painting the sky with gold and rose. The garden comes alive with birdsong and the gentle hum of bees. She feels the heaviness of her worries begin to lift, replaced by a sense of gratitude and wonder. "Master," she asks softly, "how do I carry this feeling with me when I leave the garden? How do I remember the peace of dawn when the day becomes difficult?" Hana places a hand over May's heart. The dawn is not only in the sky, but within you. Every breath is a new beginning. Every moment is a chance to start again. When you feel lost or burdened, return to this inner dawn. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and remember that you are always free to begin anew. Feel your own heart opening to this truth. Each breath you take is a gentle invitation to renewal. Each moment is a doorway to peace. The past no longer holds you, and the future is a gentle horizon glowing with promise. As the sun climbs higher, May stands and bows to Master Hana. "Thank you, Master. I will remember the dawn within me and greet each day as a blessing." Hana bows in return, her smile radiant. Go with peace, May. The garden is always here within your heart, waiting to welcome you home. Let this final teaching become part of you. With every breath, feel the light of dawn filling your body, mind, and spirit. You are free from the weight of the past, open to the gifts of the present, and ready to welcome the future with hope and courage. The garden at dawn fades gently from your awareness, but its promise remains. You carry within you the eternal sunrise, the knowledge that every ending is a new beginning and that peace is always just a breath away. Your entire being is now at perfect rest, embraced by the wisdom of the ancient masters and the gentle light of a new day. The eighth gate of wisdom opens, revealing that true peace is not found by escaping change, but by welcoming each moment as it arrives fresh and full of possibility. As you drift towards sleep, let the teachings of the sacred water gardens echo softly in your heart. You are safe, you are whole, and you are always free to begin again. The garden at dawn. Extended journey. The teaching of Master Hana and the promise of eternal dawn settles into your consciousness like morning dew on sacred petals. Your body has reached profound depths of relaxation, each breath drawing you deeper into the sanctuary of inner peace. Yet, the garden at dawn holds more wisdom, still more layers of understanding that unfold like lotus blossoms greeting the first light. Feel your breath flowing naturally like gentle streams, finding their course toward the ocean of rest. With each exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into comfort. With each inhale, draw in the fresh possibility that each moment offers. As the sun rises higher in the garden at dawn, painting the sky in shades of gold. And, Rose, other seekers begin to arrive. This sacred sanctuary has drawn pilgrims for centuries, each carrying their own burdens, each seeking their own understanding of renewal and hope. The merchant's dawn. From the eastern path comes an elderly merchant named Chen, his back bent from years of carrying heavy burdens, both physical and spiritual. He approaches Master Hana with deep respect, his weathered hands trembling slightly as he bows. "Honored Master," Chen says, his voice heavy with regret. "I have spent my life accumulating wealth, always believing that success would bring happiness. Now, in my final years, I realize how much time I wasted, how many relationships I neglected. Is it too late for someone like me to find peace? Master Hana gestures for Chen to sit beneath the cherry tree where pink petals drift down like gentle snow. "Tell me, dear Chen," she says softly, "what do you see when you look at this tree?" Chen observes the ancient cherry tree. Its gnarled trunk, speaking of countless seasons, survived, its branches heavy with blossoms. "I see an old tree, Master, beautiful but aged, perhaps near the end of its blooming years." Hana nods thoughtfully. This tree has weathered many storms, endured harsh winters, and celebrated countless springs. Yet today it blooms as magnificently as any young sapling. Age has not diminished its beauty, it has refined it, deepened it, made each blossom more precious because of its rarity. Feel this teaching settling into your own awareness. Notice how every breath you take now carries decades of experience, wisdom earned through both joy and sorrow. Your life, like the ancient cherry tree, has been enriched by each season you've survived. Chen's eyes fill with tears as understanding dawns. "Master, are you saying that my years were not wasted, even if I spent them pursuing the wrong things?" "Every season serves its purpose," Hana replies, catching a falling petal in her palm. "Your years of striving taught you valuable lessons about what truly matters. The merchant who has known the emptiness of material pursuit can guide others away from that path. The heart that has felt the loneliness of selfish ambition can offer profound compassion to others who suffer similarly. Allow this wisdom to flow through your consciousness like warm honey. Every experience you've had, every mistake, every triumph, every moment of confusion or clarity has contributed to the depth of wisdom you carry now." The students dawn. As Chen contemplates this teaching, a young student named Lin arrives, her face bright with enthusiasm, but also shadowed by anxiety. She carries scrolls and books, the weight of academic pressure evident in her hurried steps. "Master Hana," Lin says breathlessly, "I have studied so hard, memorized so much, yet I feel further from wisdom than when I began. How can I quiet my mind enough to truly understand what I've learned?" Hana points to a nearby pond where water lilies float serenely on the surface. "Tell me, Lin, how do these flowers remain so peaceful while the water beneath them moves constantly?" Lin studies the pond, watching as gentle currents create ripples that never seem to disturb the lily's perfect composure. "The flowers float on the surface, Master. They move with the water, but don't fight against it." "And what happens to a lily that tries to resist the water's movement?" Hana asks. "It would be torn apart," Lin realizes. "It stays peaceful by flowing with the current, not against it." Feel your own mind settling now like a water lily, finding its natural buoyancy. Your thoughts may continue to move like gentle currents beneath the surface, but you can rest peacefully on the waters of awareness, neither fighting the movement nor being disturbed by it. Master Hana continues, "Your studies are like the water, constantly flowing, always in motion, but your essential nature is like the lily, capable of resting peacefully on the surface of all that movement. Wisdom isn't found by stopping the flow of learning, but by finding the stillness that can rest gently upon it." Lin sets down her heavy books and scrolls, feeling a lightness she hasn't experienced in years. "I understand, Master. I've been trying to control the flow of knowledge instead of learning to float gracefully upon it." The mothers dawn, As the morning progresses, a middle-aged woman named Saya approaches the gathering. Her eyes carry the deep fatigue of someone who has given everything to others while forgetting to care for herself. "Master Hana," Saya says quietly, "I have dedicated my life to serving my family, caring for children, tending to elderly parents. Now they are grown and gone, and I feel lost. Who am I when I'm not needed by others? How do I find purpose in this emptiness?" Hana leads Saya to a fountain at the garden's heart, where clear water bubbles up from deep underground springs. "Watch this water, dear Saya. Where does it come from? From deep within the earth, Master, from hidden springs we cannot see. And what happens to this water after it fills the fountain?" Say observes as the water overflows the fountain's rim, creating small streams that nourish every part of the garden. It flows outward, giving life to all the plants and trees. The water doesn't cease to exist when it leaves the fountain, Hana explains gently. It continues its journey, nourishing life in ways the spring could never imagine. Your years of caring for others were like the fountain, a beautiful expression of your loving nature. But that love doesn't disappear when the immediate recipients move on. It flows into the world in countless unseen ways. Feel this understanding washing over you like the gentle fountain waters. Every act of love you've given, every moment of care you've offered continues to ripple outward through the world in ways you may never fully know. Saya places her hand over her heart, feeling for the first time in years the warmth of self-compassion. "So my purpose isn't lost, Master. It's simply taking new forms. Like water, love finds its way," Hana confirms. "Your caring nature will discover new channels, new ways to flow and nourish." The fountain doesn't worry about its purpose. It simply allows the spring to flow through it naturally. The healer's dawn, as the sun climbs higher, painting the garden in brilliant light, an elderly healer named Dr. Kato approaches the group. His hands, skilled in the art of traditional medicine, shake slightly with age, and his once sharp eyes now struggle to focus clearly. "Master Hana," he says with quiet dignity, "I have spent my life healing others, but now my own body fails me. My hands are unsteady, my sight dim. I fear becoming a burden rather than a blessing. How does one find peace when their life's work becomes impossible?" Master Hana guides Dr. Kato to observe a magnificent old oak tree whose massive trunk shows scars from lightning strikes and storms, yet whose presence fills the entire garden with stability and grace. "This tree no longer produces the abundant fruit of its youth," Hana observes. "Its branches may not reach as high as they once did. Yet, what does it offer now?" Dr. Kato studies the tree thoughtfully. "Shade, Master, shelter, a sense of enduring strength. Its very presence seems to calm everything around it. The tree has learned that giving takes many forms," Hana explains. "In youth, it gives through active growth and abundant fruit. In maturity, it gives through the wisdom of its presence, the shelter of its experience, the peace that emanates from its deep roots. Allow this teaching to settle into your bones like ancient wisdom. Feel how your very presence, weathered by experience, deepened by challenges, enriched by years of caring, offers a unique gift to the world that no younger version of yourself could provide. Your healing touch may have changed," Hana continues, "but your healing presence has grown more profound. The peace you've cultivated through years of service now radiates from you naturally. Students and patients are healed simply by being in your presence, learning from your embodiment of graceful acceptance. Dr. Kato straightens slightly, feeling for the first time that his aging might be not a failure, but a natural evolution of his life's purpose. I see, Master. My healing work hasn't ended. It has transformed into something subtler, but perhaps more powerful. The artist's dawn. As the morning reaches its full glory, a young artist named Yuki arrives, her paint-stained hands revealing her passion, but her downcast expression suggesting deep struggle. Master Hana, Yuki says hesitantly, I create beauty for others, but I see only flaws in my work. Every painting feels inadequate. Every attempt falls short of my vision. How can I find satisfaction in my art when it never matches what I dream? Hana points to the garden around them, not to any single flower or tree, but to the entire harmonious composition. Tell me, Yuki, what makes this garden beautiful? Yuki looks around, taking in the variety of colors, textures, and forms. Everything works together, Master. The imperfect stones, the irregularly shaped pond, the asymmetrical placement of trees. Somehow it all creates perfect harmony. And if every element were perfect by itself, what would happen to the garden's beauty? It would become sterile, Yuki realizes. Lifeless. The small imperfections, the natural irregularities, they give it character and life. Feel this understanding blooming in your own heart, like flowers opening to morning sun. The perceived flaws in your efforts, the gaps between vision and execution are not failures, but natural elements that give your creations their unique character and authentic humanity. Your art doesn't need to match your vision perfectly, Hana teaches gently. It needs to express your heart authentically. The flaws you see are often what makes your work most moving to others. They recognize their own humanity reflected in your honest effort. Yuki picks up a fallen cherry blossom, noticing how its imperfect edges and subtle variations in color make it more beautiful, not less. I understand, Master. I've been trying to create divine perfection instead of celebrating human authenticity. The integration. As the sun reaches its zenith, all the seekers sit together in the garden at dawn, each having received exactly the teaching they needed. The garden itself seems to pulse with accumulated wisdom, every plant and stone radiating the peace that comes from acceptance and understanding. Master Hana stands among them, her presence, like the morning sun itself, warm, illuminating, life-giving, without effort or strain. You have each discovered something precious today, she says, her voice carrying the music of wind through leaves. The dawn offers the same gift to all, the opportunity for renewal, for seeing with fresh eyes, for beginning again. Feel this collective wisdom flowing through you now. You are connected to every seeker who has ever sat in this garden. Every person who has watched the sun rise with hope in their heart. Every soul who has discovered that endings are always beginnings in disguise. But remember, Hana continues, the dawn doesn't come only once. It returns every day, offering fresh possibilities. Within your own heart, you carry this eternal sunrise, the capacity to begin again, to see with new eyes, to find hope in any circumstance. Your body is now completely at rest, your mind peaceful as a mountain lake at dawn. The final teaching of the sacred water gardens settles into your consciousness. You don't need to wait for external circumstances to change in order to experience renewal. The dawn within you shines constantly, always ready to illuminate new possibilities. The eternal return. As this extended journey through the garden at dawn comes to its gentle close, you understand that every ending is secretly a beginning. Every completion opens space for new creation. Every moment of rest prepares you for fresh engagement with life. The 8 sacred water gardens live within you now, their teachings flowing like streams of wisdom through your consciousness. You carry the Lotus Master's understanding of mental stillness, the Persian Master's knowledge of life's natural flow, the stone, monks' teaching about unchanging awareness, the Egyptian priest's revelation of your divine nature, the mountain spring's lesson about unity, the tea master's gift of presence, the dragon gate's promise of transformation, and now the garden at dawn's eternal offering of renewal. Feel your entire being infused with this accumulated wisdom. Your breath flows naturally, carrying you deeper into rest. Your body is completely supported, completely at peace. The ancient masters smile upon you, not because you have achieved perfection, but because you have remembered the perfection that you already are. As sleep approaches like a gentle tide, carry with you this final understanding. Every breath is a new beginning. Every moment a fresh opportunity to experience the sacred. The gardens of wisdom bloom eternally within your heart, always ready to offer their gifts of peace, insight, and renewal. The journey through the sacred water gardens is complete, but the wisdom continues to flow like an inexhaustible spring. Rest now in the knowledge that you are held by something far greater than yourself, the same consciousness that moves the stars and grows the flowers, that fills the ocean and lights the dawn. May your sleep be deep and peaceful. May your dreams be filled with the gentle sound of sacred waters. And may you awaken tomorrow with the fresh eyes of one who has touched the eternal dawn within their own heart, carrying the sacred waters within you. Our journey through the 8 sacred water gardens has reached its gentle conclusion. You have wandered through ancient sanctuaries, listened to timeless teachings, and discovered profound truths that the masters have preserved for countless generations. Each garden has offered you a precious gift, an insight, a moment of stillness, a glimpse into your own deepest nature. Allow your entire body to settle into complete relaxation now. Feel your breath flowing naturally, like gentle streams meandering through peaceful valleys. With each exhale, let your mind become lighter still, like clouds drifting across the vast sky of evening. Reflecting on the sacred journey from the Lotus Master's garden, you learned that peace doesn't come from fighting your thoughts, but from ceasing to stir the waters of inner consciousness. Like lotus blossoms emerging pristine from muddy depths, you discovered that clarity can exist even while thoughts continue to arise. Feel this understanding blossoming like gentle petals opening in your heart. In the Persian garden of 4 rivers, you uncovered the secret of true balance, not the rigid division of time and energy, but allowing life to flow according to its natural rhythms. Like waters converging at the central fountain, you found the peaceful center within yourself, where all aspects of existence can flow in harmony. Within the silent stone, monk's garden, you realized that genuine stillness isn't the absence of sound or thought, but the presence of awareness undisturbed by whatever appears within it. Like an ancient boulder enduring through countless seasons, you discovered the unchanging essence at your core. Beside the Egyptian mirror pool, you understood that what you seek is what you already are. Divine awareness isn't something distant to be attained, but the very capacity for knowing that you possess the pure consciousness through which all experience unfolds. Through the story of the wandering drop, You recognized that unity and individuality aren't opposing forces. Like the droplet finding its way to the ocean, you learned that connecting with the whole doesn't diminish your uniqueness, but reveals your true vastness. In the Tea Master's humble garden, you discovered that the sacred doesn't reside in extraordinary experiences, but in complete presence with ordinary moments. Every breath, every sip, every step can become a doorway to peace when met with mindful awareness. At the Dragon Gate waterfall, you understood that transformation doesn't arise from a single moment of success, but from persistent dedication, from the courage to continue striving even when faced with failure. Each of your efforts, successful or not, contributes to the profound metamorphosis occurring within. Finally, in the garden at dawn, you discovered that every moment carries the potential for renewal. The light of dawn doesn't only appear in the sky, but shines eternally within your heart, the capacity to begin again, to see with fresh eyes, and to find hope in any circumstance. Integration of ancient wisdom. Now allow all these understandings to merge within your consciousness like rivers flowing into the ocean. Feel how each teaching complements and enriches the others, creating a complete tapestry of wisdom for inner peace. Your breath now carries all this ancient knowledge. With each inhalation, you draw strength from the sacred gardens. With each exhalation, you spread this peace to every cell in your body. Feel how your feet have become completely heavy and relaxed, as if resting on the warm sand of a sacred shore. This heaviness spreads upward through your calves, past your knees into your thighs, each part of your body releasing completely into deep rest. Your hips and pelvis sink into profound repose, as if supported by the softest clouds. Your abdomen and lower back completely let go, allowing breath to flow naturally and deeply. Your chest expands naturally with each breath, your heart beating with the gentle rhythm of peace. Your shoulders drop away from your ears and your arms rest quietly beside your body like branches at rest after the wind. Your neck and jaw are soft, your face completely relaxed. Your temples, cheeks, and mouth gently release. Even your eyes beneath closed lids are resting in gentle darkness and warmth. Gratitude to the ancient masters. In this sacred moment, send deep appreciation to all the masters who shared their wisdom with you tonight. The Lotus Master with his gentle understanding of mental stillness. Master Farid with his teaching of life's harmonious flow. The silent stone monk Jishin with his profound quietude. Priest Keti with his wisdom about divine nature. Master Tenzin with his lesson on unity. Master Sora with his gift of presence. Master Yun with his teaching on perseverance. And Master Hana with her eternal dawn light. These masters aren't merely story characters, they represent the eternal wisdom living within each of us. They are the voice of your deepest understanding, always ready to guide and comfort when needed, carrying wisdom into daily life. As you prepare to drift into deep sleep, know that these sacred gardens will continue existing within your consciousness. They aren't just places you visited in imagination, they are states of awareness you can return to anytime. When you wake tomorrow morning, you might remember the garden at dawn and feel each new day as a sacred opportunity to begin fresh. When encountering stressful thoughts during the day, you can return to the Lotus Garden and remember that peace comes from not stirring the waters of consciousness. When life feels unbalanced, recall the Persian garden and allow the four rivers of existence to flow in their natural rhythm. When your mind becomes noisy, find the stone garden and rest like an ancient boulder amid the stream of thoughts. When seeking deeper meaning, remember the Egyptian mirror pool and recognize that what you seek is the consciousness that does the seeking. When feeling isolated or separate, recall the wandering drop and know that you are both unique and eternally connected to the whole. When daily tasks feel mundane, bring to mind the Tea Master's garden and discover the infinite within each ordinary moment. When facing challenges, remember the Dragon Gate and trust that every effort contributes to your ongoing transformation regardless of immediate outcomes. And always, you can return to the garden at dawn and feel the eternal sunrise within your heart, the ever-present possibility of renewal, hope, and fresh beginning. The eternal spring within these gardens live, not in some distant realm, but in the depths of your own being. The lotus pools of clarity, the flowing rivers of balance, the silent stones of wisdom, the mirror waters of recognition, the streams of unity, the tea ceremonies of presence, the transformative waterfalls, and the dawn light of renewal. All these flow eternally within you like springs that never run dry. You don't need to journey to sacred places to find peace. You don't need to seek distant teachers to discover wisdom. Everything you need has always been present in the sanctuary of your own awareness, waiting patiently for you to remember and return home. The water gardens have shown you what you already knew in your deepest heart, that you are not separate from the peace you seek, the love you desire, or the wisdom you admire. You are peace temporarily experiencing itself as seeking. You are love temporarily forgetting its own nature. You are wisdom temporarily playing at being ignorant. A blessing for your journey as our time together draws to its gentle close. Receive this blessing from the ancient masters. May you walk softly in the world, guided by the wisdom of the gardens. May you find beauty in the ordinary, peace in the present moment, and courage in every new beginning. May your days be filled with the Lotus Master's equanimity, flowing like the Persian garden's rivers, stable as the stone monk's presence, clear as the Egyptian mirror, unified as the wandering drop, present as the Tea Master, persistent as the carp at Dragon Gate, and renewed as each eternal dawn. When storms arise in your life, may you remember that you are not the waves, but the ocean itself. When darkness seems to prevail, may you recall the light that shines always within your heart. When you feel lost or confused, may these sacred gardens welcome you home to yourself. Final rest. Your journey through the sacred water gardens is complete, but the wisdom continues flowing like an inexhaustible spring. Rest now in the knowledge that you are held by something far greater than yourself, the same consciousness that moves the stars and grows the flowers, that fills the oceans and lights each dawn. Allow sleep to come naturally, like tide returning to shore. Let your dreams be filled with the gentle sound of sacred waters, the whisper of wind through ancient trees, and the quiet songs of masters who have found their way home to peace. Tomorrow, when you wake, you may not remember every detail of tonight's journey, but the wisdom will remain integrated into your being like water absorbed by thirsty earth. You will carry forward a deeper sense of calm, a greater trust in life's unfolding, and a quiet knowledge that peace is always available, just a breath away. May your sleep be deep and restorative. May your rest be complete and healing. And may you awaken with the fresh wonder of one who has touched the eternal gardens blooming forever within the heart of consciousness itself. The sacred waters flow on, carrying you gently into the embrace of perfect peace.